Hi, my name is Mo. I'm from Artifact 5. We're here at PAX East in Boston, and I'm here to talk about Anamorphine. So Anamorphine is a very trippy exploration game where you play through someone's mental illness. You basically go through their memories with them, try to uncover a trauma that caused them to hit rock bottom. And it's all about environmental storytelling, so there's no voice, text, or action button. It's all about where you go and what you choose to look at and how the environment reacts to you. So it's a first-person exploration game. We call it an introspective adventure. Because of the dark natures and how your emotional state drives the environment, there are very dark scenes in there. Some people think it might be a horror game, but it's not. Like, there are no monsters that jump at you. So yeah, it's like more of an emotional thriller where you take the game at your own pace. And there's also no lose state, so you take as much time in an environment as you play through it. The name is actually pretty interesting. It's a mix of two words. So Anamorphine is anamorph, which is has to do with the gameplay, how the space morphs around you and looks different in different points of view, and a mix of morphine, which has to do with the darker sort of substance abuse, depression themes of the game. So I'm the creative director at Artifact 5, so I do design and art. My background is in art, a 3D artist. I've been a freelance artist for about 10 years now, until we quit our jobs and started Artifact 5 about 3 years ago, and started making Anamorphine. Actually, it's funny, my parents didn't like games and they forbade us from playing them. We got our first console, which was PS1, like a month before the PS2 came out. So it was a weird career choice for me, but I think one of the earlier games that stuck with me the most was Silent Hill 1 on the PS1. I didn't even speak English back then, so we had to use a guide and just use the pictures to find our way around. But yeah, so I would say Silent Hill 1 is the one. So this game came from two ideas that merged together. So when we first started prototyping it, me and my friend Rami, who's also a co-founder, I really enjoyed the environmental storytelling of BioShock. So I wanted to try to see how I can make a game that's purely about environmental storytelling, almost like a 3D painting you're walking through. And Rami wanted to do something with like Portal, where using non-Euclidean spaces and try to mess with the player's sense of space and direction. And these two ideas came together, and we came up with a story that drives the game. And well, now we have Anamorphine. A lot of movies, actually, because our game is very linear narrative, and the subject matter is so dark. It's not very well explored in games. Like, there are very few depressing games out there. We've noticed there is a market for that in movies, so we've taken a lot of influences from movies and how they treat like emotional narratives and dark themes and do them well. As a studio, it is. As a person, no. I've done a lot of academic games and more commercial installations. So like I did a project for Delta Airlines and the Air Force Museum in Quebec. So we made Anamorphine with 6 people. We're up in Montreal, Canada. Yeah. We quit our jobs and started Fulltime 3 years ago in beginning of 2015. But before that, it was a hobby project for quite a bit before, I would say maybe 2011. But that was just me and Rami in my home office with my dog, drinking whiskey and making games for fun. It's in Unity, so it's mostly in C#. Because of a lot of the trippy elements of the game, we use a lot of shader code, and a lot of the game runs on the graphics card, so it's a mix of the two. I'm a 3D artist, so I use Maya, ZBrush, There is a weird level in the game where it's a huge terrain, but the terrain is not flat, it kind of funnels in on itself, and you get to ride your bike down the funnel. So making that was a very weird technical challenge. So we used World Machine for the terrain, and then through a weird pipeline through Maya and deformers and ZBrush, we're able to do the deformation. Other than that, it's like all the usuals, Photoshop. Substance Painter is also one of them. Yeah, like it's been quite a trip. It was our first sort of adventure. It's my first time being a boss, and there's a lot of things that we learned along the way. It's our second time. We've been here 2 years ago at PAX East. Also, we sent some people at PAX Prime, which is PAX West now, about 3 years ago to talk to people. It's amazing. This year we're with the indie MegaBooth. We've been getting a lot of good attention, lots of press, and people excited about to play the game. I would love to come back as always. So we have our websites, it's anamorphine.com. We're also on Steam, so you can go in and wishlist Anamorphine. If you're seeing this after it launches, you can buy it. We're also going to be on the PlayStation Store.